Tonight, we are joined by Gili Roman, a man I consider to be a hero. Since October 7th, Gili and his family have been working tirelessly to raise awareness and to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. Many of you may remember when he came to speak to us about his sister, Yarden. Yarden was kidnapped by Hamas on that horrible morning and thankfully was released 54 days later. But her sister-in-law, Carmel Gott, has yet to return from the hands of that terrorist group. Gili is an educator, the former head of the International School for Peace in Israel. He is also head of the strategy unit at the Ministry of Education, and he is a current advisor to lots of educational programs. He is an activist for democracy and LGBTQ rights. So would you please join me in welcoming Gili back to our sanctuary.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom. I'm standing here in front of you today, a different person than the one that was here a few weeks ago. This time I can actually see you. Last time I was under a great fog of worry, close to despair, but I still chose to stand here and talk with you about hope. And I said that the story of Yarden and her family is a very harsh story. To remind you, Yarden was kidnapped from the house of her parents-in-law, Eshel and Kinneret from Kibbutz Be'eri, alongside her husband Alon and their daughter, my niece, Geffen, 3 years old, and Carmel, the sister of Alon. Kinneret was murdered outside of the house. Carmel is still a hostage. Yarden, Alon, and Geffen managed to escape and attempted to escape after being kidnapped, while Alon and Geffen managed to hide for 24 hours and save their lives. Yarden was retaken and was a hostage for 54 days. It is a harsh story, but as I said last time, it's not a devastating story, because we can still write the end, and the end can also include happiness. And I'm grateful to stand here and share with you the level of excitement and joy and exhilaration of having my sister back. The 29th of November was the happiest day of my life, and it probably will be the happiest day of my life forever, because I gained my sister back, and she's safe, and she's with us. And I can be here today knowing that I don't need to worry of where she is or if I will ever see her. She's just home. And I think that this is a great beacon of hope that I want to share with you. And the story of our family and of 136 other family has yet to be written. We can still have a happy ending for them, for all of us, and I think that they deserve it. And I want to take an inspiration also from Carmel. We heard from the boys that were held with Carmel in the same room in Gaza, experiencing a harsh captivity, a violent captivity, that she helped them raise their mood and keep their mental health by practicing yoga and meditation with them and lifting their spirit. And I think that we can all learn from Carmel about her spirit, her strength, her resilience, which I hope are still holding on, and she's still holding on now that she is there for 112 days. It's unimaginable, but we believe in Carmel, and we hope that she's still strong enough and that she will come back along all of our hostages. I didn't plan to read this part for you, but I heard a lot about love in this short ceremony that we're experiencing. And that reminded me of something that I wrote 3 years ago in a book that I wrote about education. It outlined 8 essential parts of a good education, and the last but not least part was about love. So I want to read you a small part of it. I found love to be the most active component of our social immune system. Protection of our society from the hazards of hate, envy, aggression, and despair derives from the antibodies released by the concept of love. What is the most resilient parasite? Bacteria, a virus, an essential worm? Asked DiCaprio in the role of Dom Cobbett, the marvelous and insightful movie Inception. An idea, resilient, highly contagious. Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate. An idea that is fully formed, fully understood, that sticks, right in there somewhere. Our brain is fed with competing ideas about ourselves, about others, which all result in different actions: wars, exploitation, humiliation, abuse, and racism are outcome of strong and persistent ideas which can only be challenged by the existence of completely different ideas. Injection and grooming of the concept of love nurtures the ideas of hope, empathy, collaboration, and caring. Without the development of these ideas, there is no reason for society to be anything but violent and bloody. Cultivating these ideas is in the hand of all of us. So I thank you for celebrating love and teaching love and embracing hope. And I will end by a small reference to the Haftarah of this Shabbat, of the Song of Deborah. Deborah decides to commend the tribes that in very dire time and need are volunteering to stand aligned with the tribes in trouble. But she also condemns the ones who run away, who do not contribute, like Gilad and Dan, that because they are far away, they do not reach, they do not lay a hand, and they do not help. And I want to commend you, and I want to thank you, that although that you are very far away, you feel close to us. You stand with us. You come and meet us, and hug us, and support us, and believe with us that there could be a better future, and could be firm with us that the hostages are people, human beings, should not be held captive. They should not be under these circumstances even one more day. Thank you for choosing not to be truly distant, but only physically distant, and standing by our side. And I will end by the blessing that my late grandfather used to bless us every Friday dinner. שהחיינו וקיימנו והביאנו לזמן הזה. Amen, and let them all come back today. Thank you very much.